Now, with the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 now on and actually happening by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, making the series darker and grittier as we discussed in the past couple of videos, if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. A lot of great things are happening with the overall Star Wars universe moving forward. And on top of all of this, there's a lot of things happening with the Ahsoka Tano series, and specifically about the character of Darth Vader in the new Star Wars universe moving forward. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that there are a lot of things happening, of course, between Disney and Lucasfilm on really trying to balance things out and find different ways of dragging in Star Wars Legends and combining it with the Disney canon material. Now, we already know that there are a handful of a lot of Star Wars TV shows that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to figure out as we speak on exactly which ones that they want to announce at either D23, Disney Plus Day, and of course Star Wars Celebration 2023, which by the way is going to take place in Europe next year, so keep a lookout for that. But on top of all of this, we already know that a lot of changes are coming our way for the Star Wars universe, specifically with of course some of the key shows out there like Mando 3 and 4, as well as the Ahsoka Tano series. And we talked about this before in the past, is that Disney executives are pushing for Star Wars Ahsoka to become a multi-season show instead of just being a limited series. They want to really expand this to become basically the live-action version of Star Wars Rebels with a little bit, more on top of that, more originality, of course. So, with that being said, what's even all the more exciting is that with Dave Filoni currently working on Star Wars Ahsoka and connecting it to various Star Wars Rebels episodes, it's noted that one of the big scenes that are currently planned for the Ahsoka Tano Star Wars series involves both Darth Vader and Ahsoka Tano in the series to have a big moment between each other. Now, it's noted that Darth Vader is set to return in a very big role for the Ahsoka series, and Disney executives are planning on expanding the show into a multi-season one to bring him back multiple times. However, in the upcoming season of Ahsoka, one major scene that is currently underway involves a recreation of both Vader and Ahsoka, dueling, of course, on the world of Malachor inside of the ancient Sith temple. Now, Filoni's plan is to essentially recreate the duel using, of course, between Ahsoka and Vader on Malachor, and using this as a time-bending situation that takes place using the World Between Worlds in the upcoming series. Exactly what happens with this time-bending sequence that changes the duel between both Vader and Ahsoka is currently unclear. Now, this is described to be a big retcon for both Vader and Ahsoka in the series, that of course is going to involve him turning to the light slowly after these events happen, building up toward the original trilogy. Now, the big retcon that takes place is set to involve Ezra Bridger in live-action form, saving Ahsoka Tano from Vader on Malachor, or should I say Ahsoka from Vader, of course, through the World Between Worlds. Now, one of the big retcons is set to be made canon, is that it was the Wills, the godlike beings who guided Ezra Bridger to save Ahsoka from Vader. All these godlike beings, of course, knew the pattern to correcting the dark side and the light side of the Force and the balance of it all, and that Ahsoka, speaking to Vader between their duel, was also guided by the Wills. Now, that's just one big retcon that Filoni is currently focusing on, and let me just stop here for 1 minute. Now, the thing about this that really is going to be a big deal for a lot of Star Wars fans out there is that they are aiming to build this toward becoming something very special for the Star Wars fandom. Essentially, what they want to do is that they want Star Wars Ahsoka to essentially be a show that's going to deal with a lot of changes to Star Wars history, a lot of retcons that are going to be made using the World Between Worlds. Now, in this scenario, this is basically a recreation of the duel of Malachor between Ahsoka and Vader on this Sith world, alright, the Sith temple that they fight inside of. And this is, of course, a world, in case you guys don't know the lore, that the Jedi were told to never visit or even talk about because it holds so many dark side tendencies. Now, the thing about this, alright, this is supposed to be just one of the few encounters that Ahsoka and Vader will have in the actual show. It's not the only one, but this is going to be a thing that sets up the Ahsoka series, essentially. So, from what it sounds like, is that this is very likely to either A, be an opening sequence of the Ahsoka show, or B, could very well be in the first episode at some point in time. You know, kind of like with how we got that big surprise in the Kenobi series, how it opened up with Order 66 and kind of showing us, you know, different events of that actual night that happened in Revenge of the Sith. It could very well be something similar to that. Now, obviously, Filoni is all about this, and he's really making sure that things are going to be done correctly moving forward. Now, Filoni is currently writing a piece that Ahsoka senses something during her duel with Vader. However, not from Vader, but from a mysterious force. This force is said to be the Wills, who are being set up as the living embodiment of the Force, as they are set to be the creators of it all in the new canon. Now, it's described that Filoni is giving Vader a brand new suit, also at some point in the Ahsoka series, and that it will differ from the design seen in the Kenobi series and in Star Wars Rebels. What kind of changes are currently unclear as well, but some modifications are being made to Vader's suit in the Ahsoka series as of right now. So I don't know about you guys, but how do you feel about Vader's suit getting changed? I feel that it's probably best to leave as is and not really change anything drastic, but from what it sounds like is, yes, they are going to be making some minor changes to the Darth Vader suit, and how recognizable is it really going to be to the fandom? We're not quite sure if it's going to stand out that easily. We're not quite sure if it involves the helmet or the control panel. We're not quite sure just yet, but changes are being made to Vader's suit in general. Now, that scene is planned to begin filming by this September for the Ahsoka show. Favreau is described to also be involved with these retcons that will be made for Vader, implementing the recreation of Malachor and involving the Wills to guide both Ezra and Ahsoka Tano in the Star Wars scene. Now, George Lucas, surprisingly, will also be overlooking this retcon and guiding both Filoni and Favreau on exactly what to do with the actual Star Wars show. Now, the thing about Star Wars Ahsoka is that the world between worlds is going to be a bit of a theme in this show. And it does match up with the logo that you do see and how it matches the world between worlds, so it kind of validates that. Now, the thing about this also is that when you look at Star Wars Rebels, there's so much lore to explore, and Filoni himself even said this, that basically all the lore that you get in Rebels is going to be just like how it's going to be introduced in Star Wars Ahsoka. There's going to be so much Jedi and Sith lore to be introduced in the Ahsoka series, as well as new secrets about the Force. This is the type of show that I think fans have been looking forward for a very long time. You know, it's something that should have been implemented into Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it is now being used in the Ahsoka series. So overall, all these major retcons coming for Darth Vader, for the recreation of the Malachor duel and how it involves the Wills, is just one major retcon and how it's going to change events of history. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding from night to moon.